Okay, today we're going to do a wax occlusal rim on a mandibular. Tools you're going to need is your faceplate, Bunsen burner, a razor blade, this little spatula, hot plate, and a hand torch. Now with your plate here, open it up all the way in the back. And some people's flame will be more like this when they light it. So down here is a little control knob. Adjust it until you have a nice little blue flame, about 1 inch tall, and have a little air gap on the bottom down here, because if you have too close down here, you get a big nasty flame like that. Get a little air gap open up underneath, you get that flame. So now you want to use the sticky wax, using the Bunsen burner so it drips like that, and just drip it on top of your base plate. Alright, so now you want to heat up the base plate and make these little rolls like this. So heat up the wax. You don't want to, like this one here, you can see how they're not really sticking together. So you don't want to have it, you want to make sure when you heat the wax, it's nice and pink, it's melting a little bit. Then you can fold it down on top of the other one, just like that. So heat it again. It's nice, shiny, and wet. And then flip it down so it all binds together. So it'll be more like this one here. You can't really peel it apart as well. It starts breaking off on you. Just pause. Next part you want to do is heat up your piece of wax that you heat. Make sure it's all above the teeth. So heat it up so it's nice and shiny, a little bit dripping. Heat up your sticky wax and stick it together. There you go, pause. Okay. Alright, now what you want to do is heat up your wax plate, and you want to heat up the corner here and leave it at an angle like this, so when you do get wax on here, it'll melt off and it'll drip down to this corner all into your paper, so you can keep everything clean. Don't try to use the whole plate, just mainly this one corner. And then what you're going to do is heat it up really well and use this corner just to press it down on top, and it'll melt. You see how right at this corner here, see how it runs down that corner, and you just get it to your flat plane. Alright. And also when you're heating up, try to use the top part of the flame, the double flame. Use the very top part, don't put it way down here. It heats faster and hotter if you have it just at the very tip of that flame. And then you just go around the top corner, leave it at an angle, going down, and just use that corner of your wax thing to melt it all together. And you want to melt it close to this teeth, the outline of these teeth here, so you have a nice little flat line going across those teeth there. Same thing in the back, same thing on the inside. Alright, go ahead and pop the top. Now you want to do is just use your spatula here and do your fine tuning on the inside. Now you can use the razor blade to get it off this retromolar pad part here and just cut it. You ready? Alright, so then you measure your 8 to 10 millimeters, and 8 to 10, right there's 8. And then you want to polish it up, so now you want to use the hand-out torch, and you use, with the hand-out torch, you want to make sure you push this all the way down so it's nice and kind of broad around so it's flat. Tighten this back screw up real tight, and that way you can have a nice real long strong finger of a flame. I like it like this, so you can just barely touch it real fast, and you see it slightly turn to a sheen of gloss on it. And then you take a wet cotton roll and just polish it up. That way it leaves a nice little shine to your wax. Alright, pause. A lot of people, you gotta move really fast with your finger, otherwise you'll melt the wax. You don't want to melt it, you just want to get it soft and a little shine. You see how fast I'm moving across there? Then once it's soft enough, you just polish it with a wet cotton roll. Alright. And then also you want to cut off about 2-3 millimeters above the depth of your vestibule with your wax, and then you use the handle. That way it's a nice sharp edge of wax. You don't have all this wet melted wax way down here. It'll look better. And then use a little handle torch, lightly touch it up so it barely melts, and grab your little cotton roll and smooth it and polish it. Blend that corner there, and so it's a nice sharp angle. It doesn't have dripped wax, nice and sharp.